So I work at the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. The AWCC is a sanctuary dedicated to preserving native Alaskan wildlife through conservation, education, research, and quality animal care. I grew up in a firefighter family, and then I've become a firefighter myself, and so I just am someone that values being helpful in a situation. I don't want to just kind of stand there and watch and not be helpful. The day that we had this medical emergency at the Wildlife Center kind of started like your typical day. This day in particular, I was getting ready to walk into a pretty important board meeting, and so I was shutting the doors, turning the radios down. I usually let my staff know, if you need me, you got to come knock on the door. And within 5 minutes of me shutting that door, I got the panic punch at the door. I could see it on their face. We have something going on. I really thought we had more of a wildlife situation because we had a wild bear hanging around the last couple days, but actually it turns out it was a human medical emergency. There was suspicion that it was a cardiac event, and the customer was bringing the person that was having the emergency to the gift store. So that's the information that I had when I left the office. I made sure our AED was grabbed, which thankfully it was. I had a whole team of staff that were running out the door in front of me. I had a staffer yell back at me that they couldn't get a pulse, so I got into the car. I felt there was no pulse on the patient. At that point, I immediately unbuckled the patient and I pulled him out of the vehicle, put him on the ground, and immediately went to work and treated it as a cardiac event with no pulse. Got the patient ready for pads. I was working with my team. I had 4 managers around me. Got the pads placed, let it analyze. It said continue compressions. With active CPR happening, it was code red for them. I know they were dispatched because we had 911 called. We're a solid 15 minutes or so from our nearest response. Girdwood is great. Those guys are a great crew. I work with those guys, but in a busy summer day with all that traffic on the road, they're solidly 15 minutes out on a code red scene. So kind of like that moment of like, while I'm doing compressions and I look up, put the pads on, and they're like you can see it on their face. I'm like, it's okay, we can do this. And so it was just super cool. I'm getting goosebumps because I was just really proud of my team that day because it was the first time most of them have ever gone through something like that. Probably 30 seconds into compressions on the patient, as soon as I remember like, we're coding, it's a code, the patient actually pushed me off of them, and she rolled over, and I kind of like was flabbergasted in that moment because I was like, this is full code, we gotta go, it's gonna tell us to shock here in a minute. And they rolled over and woke up, and it was really cool when it happened to be able to look at my coworkers that were there on the scene with me. It humbled me to see their faces and to see the emotions they were all going through. And I was going through emotions too. Out of all the years I've been doing this and all the codes that I've run, you just don't get many that wake up. And to see the patient wake up with my Wildlife Center crew was just super rewarding, because for them to see it work just really ingrains how important that training is.